Hello viewers, today we're going to be testing these blades. These are 12-inch blades. They're the same model, but one of them is kind of warped and one of them is not. The one on the right is starting to warp. Well, it's already warped. And then the one on the left is not. So I want to see if there's really a significant difference in performance depending on how warped it is. We're going to test with this fan. I'm not sure what the motor is rated for, but with the original blade it draws 0.3 amps, and there's a noticeable variance in the speeds. And the performance is really good too. It's moving a lot of air. It's quite powerful. Okay, so let's change it out for one of these crummy blades. And I say they're crummy because they're like paper thin and ridiculously flimsy. Should not be acceptable. So we're going to start with the non-warped blade. And the clock is off on this blade as well, because the case with all of these things. It's pretty far off. So let's see how bad the balance is going to be. Okay, here we go. High. Okay, it's only drawing 0.25 amps, so it's putting less resistance on the motor than it can handle. And the performance is definitely a lot weaker than the original blade. It's not moving a whole lot of air. And you can tell by the lack of variance in speeds that it's not, why is this so crooked? You can tell that it's not really a good match for the motor. The motor can handle a heavier blade. The balance is surprisingly good though. It's in pretty good balance. It's not terrible, but it definitely doesn't move as much air. Alright, now let's check the warped blade, which in theory should be even worse than this one. And this blade too is pretty far out of clock. Not good. Okay, let's check it. Oh yeah, even that little bit of warpage is making a big difference. Even in the sound you can hear that this one sounds kind of like resisted. And the performance is easily half of what the other one was. Especially from further back, even just 2 or 3 feet away from it, you're not even feeling a distinct breeze anymore. It's just kind of like air moving but not correctly. Now this blade is terrible. There's almost no difference in the speeds, which is an indicator that it's not catching much air at all. So this is terrible. I don't know if we should be blaming the manufacturing process for this warpage, or if it's shipping issues. Being that it was shipped in a bag and not a box, and it probably had uneven amounts of pressure on it as it went through the postal service, I'm inclined to believe that the damage may be from shipping, especially because the other one is okay. Either that or their quality control is just absolutely atrocity. You can hear this blade is much quieter. From several feet away there's still a very distinct breeze, very strong. So this blade is better than these two. This one is okay. It's not great, but if you had a really warped blade, I think you could paint this the appropriate color, and this would be a satisfactory replacement. But this one being warped, it is definitely not. I'm going to have to write to the seller and see if they're going to stand behind these products or not.